Reignite your intuition, the show to grow your intuitive self. This is episode number 23, where I talk about nothing, because Janet Groom is my interview partner, so I keep my mouth shut. I'm very pleased to have a very, very special guest, Janet Groom. But for you to know, my name is Angela, and I'm your host of the show and a highly intuitive person by birth, who never lost her connection. I am the expert in supporting you, regaining your intuition and living a fulfilled and much easier life with it. Trusting fully your intuition takes time and is a very individual process. I share with you my knowledge and strategy I have developed to support yourself on a daily basis in any situation. By signing up to my freebie, you can support yourself to connect with your intuition. Go to angelahack.com/en23. And by the way, this time you also find the homepage of Janet Groom, of her very, 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 very interesting new book that's coming out. So make sure to go on angelahack.com/en23. Today I'm very excited. I'm actually not saying loads about my podcast, except for the fact I'm honored to welcome Janet Groom. And I would like to have her, first of all, introduce her to you guys, who she is, because I know her and I know that I adore her, but that's not enough information that you guys know why I adore her.
Hi everyone, thanks Angela. It is a privilege for me to join you today here on your podcast. And to introduce myself, my name is Janet Groom. I am a writer and a wordsmith. So I will be talking a little bit about words and my journey towards becoming a writer. So thank you, Angela.
So you just said it, your journey. I'm very curious about your journey. Shall we start very, very way back in the place where you were born, where your lovely accent comes from? Or where do you want to start? I'm curious.
Well, as you can listen, I do have an accent, and my accent originates back in Northern Ireland, where I was born and I grew up. At the period when Northern Ireland had its troubles, so it was an interesting time to be there. And I was thankful to have lots of books, because that was the only way I could escape and cope with it as a highly sensitive person, which I know now. And my journey really started. I've lived in several different countries. I've done a range of different jobs. And in the last year, I have been working on setting up an online business. That was in 2017. And along that journey, I was privileged to be part of a mastermind group where I met Angela. And as soon as I started working on my online business, my soul decided to go on a soul journey. And this was really new to me, because for many, many years living in the corporate world and trying to fit in with everyone else, I really shut down my heart, to be quite honest. I built up such a wall that how anyone could get in, it was pretty impossible. Although occasionally I did manage to sneak out. So that journey was very interesting, and it was something that Angela, thank goodness, came into my life for a reason, and she was there to help me on that journey. Because right at the start, yes, I want to do this, I want to be an online coach. I have studied, NLP, hypnosis, life coaching, and that's exactly what I wanted to do, and focus on depression, or helping people to move from depression to becoming much happier, because I have suffered with bouts of depression through my life. So I know what that was about. But what was really interesting when I met Angela, and she is still here, by the way, smiling, it really sort of how would I describe Angela? When I first met her, let's say Angela, I'm going with the word quirky, okay? And I hope some of you recognize that English word, quirky. It means kind of a little bit different, a little bit outside of the box. And I just adored her. And we just clicked straight away. And Angela invited me along, and I was very privileged to have some sessions with her, because I felt very confused, very conflicted, And not actually, if I'm really honest, very happy. But I think Angela could see this. And we had some sessions together. And the very first session I remember having with Angela, you know, she set me down and we did some bits and pieces. And then she more or less said, you gotta focus on really loving yourself. And I'm going, I thought that I did. But actually, not in the way that she meant. And she made me put stickers. In fact, I have a lovely post-it note still on my mirror in my bathroom that's written on it is, I love me. And it's a great reminder because she helped me to focus back on getting in tune with myself, my authentic, true self. For years, I've been listening to society, everybody else, what you should do, what you shouldn't be doing. And you know what? It wasn't what I wanted to do. And I had lost myself in there. But Angela had seen this. And as much as she was supporting me along my business journey, she could see that it was not the right thing for me. And then we sort of got talking another time. We had another session and she asked me what my big dream was. And I talked about, I want to sort of, help people to really, and she goes, no, but what's your really big dream? And I said, well, you know what? I've always dreamed of writing a book. And she goes, oh, what book are you going to write? And I said, well, actually, I started a book about 10 years ago and it's been started and stopped and put away and forgotten about. And she just goes, but I can tell. I mean, she could really tell. She said, that's what you need to be doing. And I went, yeah, right. No, I need to do this online business and earn money and blah, blah, blah. And she's going, no. Think about the book. Write the book. And I have to say, Angela, alongside my husband, I'd have to say we're now married 21 years. He actually has been saying to me for the last, I don't know how many years, would you write the damn book? So I think that I'm getting the hint. And again, I kind of fought it a little bit and I even changed direction in my business, thought that would be the answer, but it wasn't. And at the beginning of this year, 2018, I finally went, okay, this is it. It's happening. I actually was lucky to put in contact with a publisher last year, at the end of last year. He loved my pitch for my book. And by the end of this year, watch out, my book should be being published, being birthed, coming out into the world. Shall I tell them a little bit about my book, Angela?
I love the title already. I regularly love the title of her book.
I think everybody's a little bit, shocked or intrigued or curious when I say the title, but it's a work of fiction. It's called The Naked Knitting Club. Now, for a lot of people, they kind of get, what, the naked bit? Or they get hooked on the knitting bit. But it really is about someone who makes changes in their life, takes big risks, and ends up meeting a wonderful group of people that become their friends and how they support each other. So there's so much more to this book. But it's good fun. It's all about, there's a humour, it'll have you laughing. Think Bridget Jones meets Calendar Girls. If you know those movies, it's kind of along those ideas. Okay.
Whoa, that sounds super excited. As I said, I love the title of the book and I love her avatar. So if you can follow her on any journey on homepage or whatever, do so. You'll find all the information underneath that podcast on my website. But what I'm also curious is, you just told me your journey and what you've done and what has changed, what you're doing now. And by the way, I haven't said write the book. I said write the damn book. I put in that damn word as well, like your husband. And I totally agree with him. He used the right wording. Sometimes you have to say it out straight. But anyway, what after the journey is now, if you have to make a little shortcut or just a short sentence or 2 sentences, what's the outcome of your whole journey that you're here today and that you're on that book and that you're doing what you're doing? How did that came?
You know what? I had been coaching and doing other things about tuning into happiness. But I have to say, Angela really helped me to tune into happiness. And that actually was listening to my heart. That knowing my dream, listening to it and following my dream. And today I can absolutely hand on my heart say, I am truly happy. and really excited and in a completely different space than I was a year ago. So thank you, Angela. It really has made a difference.
Thank you very much, Janet, for being here. I'm really, really honored to have you here. You're my first interview guest for a podcast, and I would love to have you again because I'm super curious about your book, and probably you could give us a little sneak peek later on in a few weeks because I can't wait anymore for that damn book. But I'm grateful and thankful that you finally wrote it, and thank you very much for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. It's been an absolute pleasure. Absolutely. I'll come back again anytime.
Are you ready for reignition? Yes. Then go to angelahack.com/en23 and sign up for the freebie with the link you find there. And to make sure that you have breaks, go also on Janet Groom's homepage for her new book that's coming up to make sure that you're ready to order it ASAP when it's out, that you also have something nice for relax time. Thank you for listening to Reignite Your Intuition. If you like my podcast, please come back, tell friends, and feel free to share with others how they can access the podcast.